أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمد رسول الله.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Hello Muslim friends of the world. Europe is known as the continent with the largest population of Christians and Catholics in the world. However, a number of countries in Europe apparently have the largest population distribution of Muslims or Muslims. According to World Atlas, although Muslims are classified as a minority group in most European countries, Muslims represent around 5% of the total European population. In fact, the Pew Research Center projects that the continent's Muslim population will soar in the coming decades. According to Pew Research Center projections, by 2050 the Muslim population in Europe could reach 11.2% of Europe's total population. In fact, if immigration were completely banned, Muslims would still represent 7.4% of Europe's population in 2050. According to data, the number of Muslims in Europe between 2010 and 2016 increased by more than 1%, namely from 3.8% to 4.9%. Massive immigration and staying for work or school are the reasons for the increase in Muslims in Europe. Between mid-2010 and 2016, Europe reportedly welcomed around 2.5 million Muslims. Apart from immigration, the relatively young age of the Muslim population in Europe is also the cause of the increase in the Muslim population on the Blue Continent. In 2016, the average age of Muslims in Europe was 30.4 years, while non-Muslims reached 43.8 years. Apart from that, on average Muslim women also give birth to more children than non-Muslim women. So, what are the countries with the largest Muslim populations in Europe? The following is the list, according to Statista and research results from the Pew Research Center. France. The number of followers of Islam in France is indeed very interesting to discuss. As is well known, a number of countries on the Blue Continent actually have quite large Muslim populations, one of which is France. France is the largest home in Europe for Muslims from various circles, ranging from local Muslims to immigrants or migrants. Even though Muslims have existed in France for a long time, both in mainland France and in areas outside Europe, the mass migration of Muslims to France in the 20th and 21st centuries has made this country one of the countries with the largest Muslim community in Europe. Citing data from worldometers.info, France's population currently reaches 65.6 million people as of Tuesday, December 13, 2022, according to Worldometer's elaboration of the latest UN data. France managed to occupy 22nd place in the list of countries. Meanwhile, data comes from worldpopulationreview.com. In 2022, France will succeed in occupying the largest number of Muslims on the Blue Continent with a total of 5.7 million people, or around 8.8% of the total population. The majority of the French population is Christian with a total of 44.6 million people, or around 64.5%, according to Britannica. Meanwhile, around 17 million people choose not to adhere to any religion, aka atheists, or around 25.5% of the total population. Adherents of Islam in the country have increased sharply since the 20th and 21st centuries due to several factors. One of them is the increasing population of converts to Islam and the large number of Muslim migrants heading to the country. German. The Muslim population in Germany has increased by 90,000 since the last survey in 2015. Reported by Daily Sabah, the Federal Office for Migration and Refugees, BAMF, puts the total of between 5.3 million and 5.6 million Muslim population in Germany in 2021. These figures represent 6.4% and 6.7% of the total population, according to a survey presented jointly with the German Ministry of the Interior. This population growth has made the Muslim community in Germany more diverse in recent years. BAMF President Hans-Eckhard Sommer said this situation was the result of migration from Middle Eastern countries. Sommer's statement could refer to the riots that hit the Middle East and Africa between 2010 to 2016. For example, the Arab Spring and the existence of ISIS caused many residents to flee to a number of developed European countries such as Germany. The influence of the arrival of immigrants has made Germany the country with the third largest immigrant population in the world. The Muslim community in a country with a population of 82 million people has a number of facilities for worship. They are recorded as having around 2,500 langars and a number of mosques, some of which were initiated by Muslims themselves with the help of the local regional government. The function of mosques in Germany is not only a place of worship. Due to the absence of formal religious infrastructure, mosques ultimately also take on the role of places of education/teaching, social religious gatherings, wedding events, and business centers. Therefore, you often find a number of mosques in Germany that have shops, restaurants, libraries, and meeting rooms. Great Britain. Muslims in England increased by 44% in 10 years. This data was obtained from the population census conducted by the Office for National Statistics, ONS, in England from 2011 to 2021. The ONS census is carried out once every 10 years and is based on a series of questions for all citizens of the UK. For religious questions, this is voluntary only for those who are willing to answer. Even though it is still a minority portion compared to the total population, the Muslim population in particular has experienced a significant increase. As of 2021, there will be an increase of 1.2 million people in 10 years to the total number of Muslims in the UK. As reported by Arab News, from 4.9% or 2.7 million followers of Islam in the states of England and Wales, in 2011 this increased to 3.9 million Muslims or 6.5% of the total population in 2021. On the other hand, the City of London is recorded as the area with the largest concentration of Muslims. Data from the ONS notes that 15% of Londoners have embraced Islam as of 2021. This figure has increased by 12.6% from before. This means that there are more than 1.3 million, out of a total of 8.6 million, Muslims living in London alone, wrote Arab News. Meanwhile, The Guardian reported that the area in England that had the largest percentage of Muslim population in 2011 was Tower Hamlets. Then followed by other areas, namely Blackburn and Darwin with 35% and Newham with 34.8% of residents who claim Islam as their belief. However, Tower Hamlets has also experienced a significant increase in numbers of 1.9% in the last 10 years. In 2021, Muslims will constitute 39.9% of the total local population.